Right. Hello, guys. Welcome to round 5 of Division 2 OTLR. We are here at Monza, and it's almost a well, it's quite a packed grid today. I'm here joined by Tom Carter. You guys are long viewers of this channel. You guys probably haven't heard his voice in commentary for a very long time, but he is back and he will be alongside me for Monza. Hello, Tom. All right. Are you excited for today's race? We are nothing can. Sorry, 2 seconds. Yeah, I know it's my audio. Speak now.
Um, Hello?
Yep, there we go. Sorry, guys, you can hear him now. Yeah, I'm joined by Tom. We're at Monza today. Is the track? So, sorry, Tom. Do you want to repeat yourself? Are you excited to be back?
Yeah, of course I am excited to be back in my commentary booth, the co-com seat. Uh, just gonna listen to myself. Yeah, sound good. All right, cool. Uh, Thankfully you guys can hear that I don't have a lisp. I don't know why on Xbox I did, but I've got the stream open, chat open. I've got I've got the ability to look at the championships because I have got a PC now. So all well and good. I'm going to be rusty tonight. Sorry for the stuttering. Let's get involved.
Right, so speaking of the championship, here is what as it stands. It's been very close last race. If you guys were here last race, it got really intense towards the end, and this is what it looks like. Who knows what's going to happen today, as there has been some changes where some drivers have gone down Division 2 just to get the numbers up. But here is the new lineup. I'm trying to get this done as quickly as we can. Here's the lineup for Division 2. Hopefully next season we'll have the 3 divisions. If anyone's watching that's not in the league, get in the league and get signed up so that we can see what you're like for when the next season comes. Here
Yeah, I
is the
think the. Oh, sorry, go on.
sorry, I was gonna say here is the rest of the calendars. We've got Monza today and then Brazil next week, which I'm pretty much really excited for. I don't know about you, but Brazil is gonna be one of the I think one of my favorites.
Yeah, of course, I'm excited for Brazil. Brazil always offers up a good race. I think also what I was going to say before is that the motions for people from Div One is based on pace and trying to even out the score, trying to make sure that people are in the appropriate tiers more than it is about numbers. But also, it is good for numbers as well. As you can see, 14 people are in today. A couple of people are joining late, hopefully. So we should have a few numbers. First lap back for me, looking at Ty Clear. Crosses the line, starts the first lap of qualifying. Let's go.
Oh yeah, just do you mind adding a Brian? I don't know if he's actually that dynamic duo guy. He's not appearing in line for me, so I think you have him added, right? So that's
Who?
uh Brian.
Oh, I might. Let me check.
Alright, as he comes towards the second chicane now, probably one of the most difficult chicanes. Sets of 26-1 for first sector, so he's on a pretty decent pace. So far, probably looking to get into the 118s if he wants to try and get a decent lap on the time. Through the 2 Lesmos now, one of the most difficult corners in my opinion. And then comes up towards the final chicane. We'll try and get his lap before it's over. We'll just have to invite some people. That guy has been invited. Do it one more time for good luck. There you go. Comes towards the back straight now. What can he do before the final turn? Final turn now. What's it going to be? Is it going to be into the 118s? Obviously, we missed his sector times, but crosses the line. It's a 1:19.7. That is going to be the benchmark for the rest of these drivers. I believe it is. Well, not the second Red Bull, sorry. That's currently in. About to set his lap. We see what he can do. Behind him is the Aston Martin. When crosses the line, it's a 19.7. That is real close to each other. Albertos goes a few attempts quicker. What can his teammate do? And the Alpine behind. They go into the pits, so that would be he's probably run over. Lamp goes fastest by 4 attempts actually. That's a good lap from him. What can Drizzle do? Who currently gets a 26-1 in the first sector, matching Ty Clear actually. So we're probably going to see pace get real close towards the end of this qualifying. I, What can he do as he comes towards the final turn now? Going to be real careful on the brakes and straight back onto the throttle as he crosses the line. What's it going to be? Is it going to be in the 118s? Oh, yes, it is. Just about. It's a 118.9. What about Commander Bond? He's on a lap, so while he starts his lap, we'll quickly try and invite some other Brian's there. What can Commander Bond do, who is actually matching the pace of the Division 1 guys that have been down. So far, he's actually the quickest man on track. We just had to invite those two drivers that are joining during qualifying. And I think also there should be one more coming, as who is that goes up? That's Williams. As Commander Bond invalidated though, but we'll key on board of him to see what he can do, as I think...
Right. What's happening?
Oh, joining.
Andre's going out now. He's going to be starting a lap, so I hope that in that McLaren he can replicate what's been going on in real life. Lando Norris now number 1, not number 4 anymore. I don't know how people feel about that. Drop your thoughts in the chat. I'm going to drop over into the chat the Discord link.
We're going to go on board of the Haas, who's currently on a lap. At a 54 flat for Sector 2. What can he do as he approaches the final turn? Can he get a spot, and can he try and minimize the distance to the finish line? Does wash out a bit wide, crosses the line, and it's a 21-3. Slots in right behind Williams. As Busy Boy Games Crusher, he's going to need another invite, as I've invited these.
He's on a lap. Pipe Tech's on a lap. Oh, he set up a first sector. I don't know how true that is.
That is the fastest I've seen so far. 25.9.
Yep, going through Lesmo 1 into Lesmo 2, now down to the back straight. Going to have to open the DRS as soon as you can, straight over the line. Last time we'll see DRS as well. It's gone now in real life. Won't see it again, not for a long time anyway. I'd assume into Ascari now. You can cut that inside curb as much as you want. He's left a little bit on the entry, I can say that for sure. I'm not sure if Pipetech plays on controller or wheel. I have been an associate of this man for a long time, and he is a reliable driver, so looking forward to see what this time is.
Can he get ahead of his teammate? So far, it's looking like it's very much likely going to be. Crosses the line, and it's going to be a 29-1. Gets ahead of his teammate. His teammate goes into the pit. So who is next? I believe it is the KFC bloke, who is about to set his first flying lap.
First flying lap for the KFC bloke. Interesting to say the least so far. He goes
Yes.
P1.
That is really close, ahead of his teammate.
Yep, 56 thousandths ahead of his teammate, and then 96 thousandths ahead of AJ. Excuse me.
As the Red Bull driver validates, he goes into the pits. Who is next to set a lap? I believe it is Amp.
I think actually that MQK1's going to be next to start one, so I'll keep an eye on him. Oh no, it'll be Lamp, so no, you are right. Decent exit out of the first corner, using a little bit of battery I can see on the wheel there. Down to about 60% ERS, I'd say.
He's almost 2.5 tenths up in his time. That would put him pole if he can keep the consistency throughout this this lap.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to say the least. The Red Bull P3 at the moment, how much is it going to be improved by? Lesmo 2, bit of a harsh turn in there. I don't know if the flicking's going to gain you or lose your time, especially in low downforce circuits. Through Ascari now, he's left a lot less on it than Pipe Tech did down there in P4. You can see that by the gap between them in the times. Pipe Tech 0.184 seconds behind the leader and AJ Lamb 96 thousandths. But only Parabolic is going now, break about 50 meters. Hear the tyres screeching, a little bit of understeer there. Ran a little bit wide. Brian and Wemo's joined. Now he's in the lobby. We'll be able to set a lap, 8 minutes to go, leaving as little tarmac to the line as possible. And he goes fastest with a 1:18.850. That's a decent lap there from AJ Lamb. Goes from P3 to P1. Not bad at all.
What about MQK, who goes P4? That's a good lap time from him. I think Ricky's made pretty much won the jackpot with this. Because P1 to P4, well, P5 really, is insane. It's really close.
Yeah, so this is what I mean by the league is looking to balance out the tiers. This is why we need you. If you listen to this and you're not involved, you need to get involved. We want you involved so that we can. We've got the numbers. It's just that we need to, we need to pass our drivers through that filter of where the pace lies and keeping things as competitive as possible for everyone. Because that's what we've had plenty of championship finales last season. Myself involved in one for Division 2. This is the tier I finished third in last season. If you would like to be involved in things like that and full championship fights, because that is genuinely how competitive it is getting and how competitive we intend it to be. The link is in the Twitch chat. No one's going to hurt you for joining.
Commander Bond is down in his times. I think that is not going to be that for him. As Fizzy Boy is on a lap, we'll go on board with him.
He's
See
had
what he can do.
rough run through the Variante 1, so I don't know.
He's still matching the pace from maybe like P4 down to P8, so definitely going to improve by quite a few positions. Do you mind just inviting some of the people that aren't able to get in, like the Brian? Yeah, you said you had him added, right?
In.
Oh,
No,
he's
I
in.
don't,
Okay.
but he's in. Yeah.
Okay.
He's in.
Right, is he up in Sector 2? Fizzy Boy, the kick Sauber. We shall see. And it wouldn't have said if he's up or not because he is on his first lap. But it's a 53.2. That is that is pretty good as Brian finally joins in the McLaren. 6 minutes left. He might have time for at least one good run. See what he can do as he crosses the line. That's a 20.5, so maybe just lost some time.
Yeah, got 3 more drivers now. Nathan D, Tom Boo, default. Need 2 set laps. Got a couple of people on the inside curb here as one of them McLaren starts his lap. I think that's Andres going for his second run.
Just ahead of him, we do have the KFC bloke, who is one of the Division 1 drivers that have come down. And looking at this, he is slightly up. He still needs to find a few hundredths of a second if he wants to get P2. Maybe even a bit more if he wants to take pole off Drizzle, who I didn't even realize is currently sitting on pole by a few hundredths of a second. And when we talk about close quality, this is exactly what we want.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're talking about as in real life. Replicating it here in off-the-line racing, the gaps are minuscule, as are the margins on the
almost
track.
2/10 up in his time, so he is looking to take pole if he can keep it on track and not mess up on this final corner. He is looking to get at least an 18.7 right here.
18.7 would definitely put in pole, and it would be by a small margin. Also cuts to that inside line and giving as little run to the line as he can to the tarmac. Cuts it as far as he
Oh
can.
my
2.5
god,
tenths gap.
that is a crazy time from him. 4 minutes left. It could be beat, but it is not looking likely. As we're on board with Brian, I don't know how to say his last name, but he
Bueno.
sets a 26 flat for his first sector, and then a 22. Brian's going to get pole here. He's fastest man.
Beg to differ. I think his run through a Sky was rough. You got over the curbs, bottomed out a little bit, lost a bit of downforce, lost a bit of grip at the rear.
So he is fastest sector 1 and 2, but maybe lost it. Yeah, he's backed out. He's going to have to go again. So that is a shame. He was the quickest man up until that point.
Oh, I think that's a wise decision. If we see him get pole now, because he made that decision. He's sent a lap. Albert is on Alberto Tetris is on a lap. MQ is on a lap. AJ Lampstein is lap. Let's have a look at these front 2 drivers, I think. I'll go with AJ. You go with MQ. I'll let you know on the
AJ's
times.
a tenth and a half up, almost 2 actually, as he comes towards first turn, coming towards the second chicane. Sorry, is he still up on his time? Oh, they're starting it. Is he up on his time from his previous lap? They'll go aboard of him. He is a 10th down. He definitely has time to find it. Still a good sector 1, but it's not enough to try and grab pole off the
Valid.
KFC bloke as he invalidates, and that'll be his runner over. Definitely has time to go again, as MQK is a 10th down in sector 2 as well. Definitely can find time in this final corner.
Yeah, I think we could see a couple of people backing out or going for double warm-ups or along those lines here. Easy to make mistakes. It's very frustrating to drive here. There's not much places on the track where you can make up time on your opponents. So the margins do get small.
UK. He said, "Whoa, okay, that is not something we want to see. You don't want to be doing that. That is very questionable there. I don't. If someone was to put something towards that, I think he could be looking at a penalty if someone was to take action against that. That is, he is, yeah. I wouldn't recommend cutting the course just to try and set another lap. You will get penalized.
If somebody decides to report it.
Yeah.
I would encourage it though. We've got some amazing stewards, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's as I think the Williams, the Shrek Torres, yeah, he's on a lap. He's actually 2.5 tenths up. That won't put him anywhere where he would want to be, but he is still improving his time. As actually, I think more people ahead of him are actually on the lap. No, he's going for a double out lap. So I think he was correct about this double out lap. Most people are going for that.
Yeah, it was easier to spot, to be fair. I think that if you're not improving by a lot, there's no reason to finish up your lap. Right, Andres is going. We've got both the Astons going at the same time, I think. Also,
Ty Clear is improving. I don't know if that is the fastest sector 2, but he is currently just got his personal best. Sitting on a 19.3, we know he can definitely improve. He has the pace to win races and get pole. We've seen it before in this division. The race might not have been streamed, but he has done it. He comes towards the final corner. Watch is a bit wide. They're not using as much of the track as I thought they would have. He sets a 19.1. I don't think that was an improvement on position, but it is put him closer to the Aston. We've got on board with Brian. I think he's about to set his lap, so we'll go back on board with him later on. Oh, as he invalidates his big Sauber of Fizzy Boy. Fizzy Boy would definitely be looking to improve, at least by even a few attempts, and that's a few positions gained as he comes towards the final corner now. What does he do as he crosses the line? Is it going to be an improvement? To P10 he goes.
Right, Drizzle, he's about to set his last lap round Parabolica. He goes, coming up to the line. Obviously does what everyone else has been doing, cuts it short, goes as inside as he can.
Oh,
improvement,
that is so close. He just about missed out as the Red Bull goes into a bit. What can Brian do?
Andres. Oh, not bad, not bad, not bad. Couple of Astons coming through now. Sorry for interrupting.
Sorry.
One's in the pit. The other one, not improved. Who's next?
Oh, Brian is on a slow lap. We'll go on board with the Red Bull of Werner, I think is how you say his name. Winner. I'll go, yeah. Will he be a winner in today's race? We shall see. He's about to cross the line. Voice crack right there. Crosses the line, improves, but only goes P6. McLaren next is set. He is down from his last time.
Oh,
a 19 flat. That puts him P5 for his first lap. That is exactly what he needed. We're going on board.
My word.
As the KFC bloke improves even more. That's where we see the pace from the division drivers coming down. Obviously, this track is is really quickly. You need to know how to take some corners. But I think taking away that from the taking away that, it's been a pretty close quali as Tom doesn't set enough lap to improve his position. But we'll start P15 as Nathan and the Haas driver failed to set a lap. So that is our top three. We have the KFC bloke, Drizzle, AJ Lamp. AJ Lamp's done well to actually get to P3. So I think if you take away obviously the two Alpines, this quali has been really close.
Yeah, I think the Alpines are out for blood tonight. Even
It's
the KFC bloke definitely getting one up on his teammate gone.
hopefully we can see some clean racing between those two. As they are teammates, they want to try and do as much as they can for Alpine, but you know, around this track, especially the first lap with cold tires going through those hard braking zones, it's gonna be something.
Definitely going to be something to behold. But first, we have to get the restart. And I'll tell you what we can do in the intermission. Do you want to talk me through the standings in the championship and the viewers?
I have to take a screenshot of the thing and lobby, but I will pull it to that scene. And if you're on the
No worries.
Twitch,
If you, yeah, tell you what, you go and pull that up, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna look myself, and I'll talk everyone through it, and we'll learn together. So, assuming that the graphic is up, then I'm looking and I can see the McLaren Mercedes both at the top at the moment. That's surprising to me, seeing them in P5, P12 starting there today. It's going to be interesting to see how they can uphold that lead. Commander Bond in P3, chasing behind 1 point. The difference between him and the first McLaren, 7 to the next. He's in P, I didn't see, but I'm guessing it's not going to be too bad. P4, Luca, he's there in 36 points. He's got a reserve driver, so some consistent showing from him. That's good. If you would like to be a part of the tier, then you need to join the Discord. Link is in the chat. We want less reserves on the graphic and as many full-time drivers as possible. Assuma in the Mercedes P5, he's got 33 points. AJ Lamp, another contender today, 32 points. MQK, another contender today. I know I've said that 3 times now, but we've got many contenders here, including Ty Clear in P9, running at the top. In P8, sorry, Pipe Tech and Drizzle running at the top 10. Drizzle, he could gain 7 or 8 positions here if he gets that win. GTS v Staranik, sorry, the reserve P11 with 17 points, not too bad. Axe following him, P12. Dougie, P13, 12 points with him. Equal on points with Shrek. That's P14, round up top 15 is Keaton, the American, in the Ferrari, 10 points. Then we have the remaining of the grid, RS Salguero in the
and
Williams. He's got 5 points. Only the only remaining driver here to score points with single digits. Tom Boone, Nathan D, Fizzy Boy, and Alberto all here today looking to get their maiden points.
And following that, we'll move on to the constructor standings. I think those two Alpines are going to be doing some pretty good points for Alpine as they currently sit 80, almost 80 points back from McLaren, who sit P1. They are sitting in P10. Hopefully, they can at least jump a few positions in the constructor standings, as all the drivers are just currently just retiring from the race, so we can get the grid set on. From the rest of the calendar that you see, so we have Brazil, Baku, Zandvoort, Bahrain, and Spielberg. Out of those tracks that we have left, which one do you think you're most excited for?
Can't wait to jump on the cruise from Monza to Brazil over the Atlantic. That's right, isn't it? The Atlantic, yeah, jumping on the cruise.
I think
OTLR
so.
cruises, get into the Discord. Free holidays for everyone if you're in the Discord. OTLR cruises, keep your eye out for the boards. Nah, I'm joking, but I'm also not joking into Lagos. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, that is gonna be pretty good. And actually, speaking of Ty Clear coming back down, he's actually is on the standings. He was leading, but obviously, as he hasn't been in the past two races, he has dropped down to P8, so he can definitely bounce back up today if he does well. As we're just gonna go into the back to the while I just grid. Everyone has retired quickly, which thank God for that because we usually go a whole sector and I think too. So speaking of quali, actually, can't really tell what close of it with KFC blokes. Yeah, it's pretty close from P3 downwards.
Very close indeed.
Obviously, some drivers joining during quali. The only driver actually to probably utilize late joining was probably Brian. He was able to that he at least a benchmark time. He definitely would have got faster as we saw his first flying lap was the quickest on the track. However, when it came to the final chicane, What, invalid or?
Yeah, make sure you get that contact on collision on sends as well. Yeah. Corey Brooks, the OG commentator, founder, well, co-founder of Off the Line Racing, you could assume, is saying that he predicts the Alpines crash T1. Is why his head might be correct with that. I don't know.
I do kind of have a feeling, but
Please, may I have mod? Is Ricky still here? Can I get that mod, please? I was going to put a poll. Do bets for race winners. Mute channel point two, don't we? Yeah, oh, no, we don't. Oh, yeah, we do. Nice to see that we've got 233 followers, 7 followers to 240. If you'd like to be one of the followers, then hit that follow button. 20 viewers at the moment. Lovely to see an actual group of people watching the stream today. Got 4 subs. If you'd like to be the 5th sub, I think that makes you an OG. You get the OG badge, the founder badge. Then make sure you do that. I've got the founder badge for sure. Andres, you're gonna cook, man. You're gonna cook. Don't worry about it. Get your thoughts in chat, boys. What do you think's gonna happen? Who do you think's gonna win? I'm gonna go out there and say Ty Clear is gonna win this from his racing bull. Link in the chat also. Shrek subscribed with the Prime Legend 5th sub on the channel. What a legend! Can we get some hearts in the chat for Shrek? Sub into the channel. Well done, Shrek. Good man. Welcome to the league.
I think that is everyone set. I am just going to double check before we go. Leave the other drivers in that lap, so that is everything.
You'd love to see we got 5 subs in the chat now. Put a chat in there, Shrek. See if you got the founders, but oh, he does. Yeah, he does. Awesome.
Right, so as I believe the grid is set, you're going to be going pretty soon.
Andres, I mean, you're leading the championship, Andres. Don't count yourself out, man. Excuse me. Championship leader, Andres. Don't do it. Don't do a Piastri.
Right, as that's everyone. Ready, and we'll get going soon as.
I think we're ready to go. Hype training, come in. Train. Gift some subs if you would like. Subscribe with Prime, it's free. Support the boys, support your local league. Support your local ambitious league. This league has been ambitious since the inception. There's been a plan, it's all planned out years in advance. We've got dates set out for seasons that aren't even close yet. So make sure that you join the community. Make sure that you're here before it gets big so you have that claim to fame. At Off the Line Racing, we also pride ourselves on the quality of members that we have. Everyone in our server adheres to the rules and is also active in the community. We have a very, very effective system at removing followers who do not participate in events and in chats and in voice chats and in community events and so on and so forth. So the number of followers isn't representative, because out of however many followers we have, I'm guarantee you 4 out of 5 of them, all but a few, are regularly in the server. So it's booming, better than ever. Make sure you follow. Here we go for the race.
Right, sorry guys, it took a bit some time. Ricky knows what I'm like when it comes to taking pictures of the qualifying. So I had to just make sure I had it all correct so that it doesn't affect results later on, as people are just getting their setups ready. And look at those DHL converted into OTLR. If you guys want, if you guys ever buy a Monza or you get an Amazon package, actually don't get it from Amazon. Get it from OTLR Deliveries, as we actually have a new sponsor right above all these teams right here.
Yeah. Who's doing lights out?
You can. And it's been a while since you've done it, right? So
Yeah, come on. Got to challenge myself. Starting grid is looking interesting. Monza
love
Turn 1 Chaos, Corey says, the wise man. I believe they might be. What did you
love
going to
the
say?
sponsor. Yeah, we've actually been
Yep.
sponsored by DHL to actually do this race, and the winner gets a 3 Greg's sausage roll that would be delivered in the next 3 or 4 working months.
Yeah. May not be edible. That's part of the small print.
Yeah, it's very small
Right
writing.
then.
As
I'm
I think I
excited for
might
this.
have left it a bit too late. I'd say
It's not a problem. If they start early, it's not a problem. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. All large orders through OTLR get delivered through ETS2 haulage companies. Yep. CB companies or CB haulage will deliver your parcel. Let's say we cannot guarantee that it will arrive in working condition. May also arrive with a couple of smells on it. Bit of a stink. Don't worry about that though. That's just the driver. Right.
as we
Let this
should be
race
good.
start.
Yeah, I might have left it a bit too late. Oh, we're getting going now apparently. Someone readied up.
I don't know if somebody's ready to.
I mean, it was quite a while. Hopefully,
Here we
managed.
go. 3, 4, 5 lights. Lights out and away we go. And Brian and Bremo, I'm on board with him. It's a decent start. I can see them ghosting, so it's a bit hard to see what's going to happen. You've got a Rebel on the outside, a Kicksabber on the inside. You've got 2x2x2x2 and a few more at the back. Somebody's missed the breaking points of Williams. I think it's RS. It's given some damage. You've seen some carbon flying there. Turn 1 Chaos. It is at Monza. The Alpines lead 1 and 2. The Kicksabber of MQK 1-3. AJ Lamp 4 and Brian and Bremo top 5. Going down into Variante de la Roggia. The second chicane of the lap, it's a decent start. Oh, Pipe Tech gets a bit of damage there on the inside curb, part 1 of the chicane. A couple of decent moves though around the field. Both of the Aston Martins, I think, have had poor starts. Alberto, looking to challenge, has front left end plate damage, so not what we want to see at the first lap.
Possible race strategies. It's looking for it to be a 2-stop, but I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be a 1-stop later down this line.
Yeah, I think the one-stop also is the optimal strategy, unless the tyre wear is really that bad. I think Brian and Bremer is looking hot on the rear of AJ Lamp. Goes to... no, he doesn't go to the inside. That's the winner behind.
Yep. As if you don't mind, do you mind just going to the chat? I think one of the drivers left. As Brian is actually right up the back of Lamp. Is he going to get the slipstream and make the move into turn 1? Who's going to be brave on the brakes? So they're actually 3 wide here. Almost 4. I think Brian just about got ahead. He's going to be staying ahead of the Red Bull if he can get the grip coming out of the turn. And I think he does. He is ahead. And the Aston Martin of Pipe Tech getting ahead of the other Red Bull as Fizzy Boy gets a 3-second penalty for cutting the track.
Yeah, not an ideal start for Fizzy Boy there. Not what you want to see. I think he might have some damage, but he definitely has a penalty. Oh no, he's rear-ended Commander Bond. That's poor. He's definitely got damage now.
The V curb is fine. I look at the Aston. I think the Aston has end plate damage. still doing well to stay behind the Red Bull as Pipe Tech is going to make a move on AJ Lamp. Had that slipstream. Can he make a move coming in to the final chicane? What's he going to do? Is he? Oh, he's already made the move on the straight. That is good for him. That's a position up. Brian is real close to the back of MQK, who's done well to gain a position, or thinks gain a position. Anyway, my memory's like a goldfish.
Bit of a tank slapper getting for a Scarby there, Brian and Buemo.
That was a close.
I might be pulled for the tyres.
As I just realised, he's starting on the hard, so he's definitely going for.
A lot of people have started on the hard.
Drizzle getting past the KFC bloke, Brian getting past MQK on the straight. What about the Aston Martin driver? These guys, oh, I think they're just trying to get a bit too aggressive on that first turn as they were too wide there. There's a Ferrari off the track. I don't know what happened there. He is falling back. What about Andreas, who is currently chasing down the Haas?
Andres tipped off to be the winner by Corey in the chat. I'm not sure if that's going to fall true, but he's not doing too badly at the moment. P13. I think he would be expected to do a bit better though. Cars ahead of him are scrapping, so the opportunities will come his way.
I think Fizzy Boy is about to make a move on this DRS straight. Let's see how brave he is on the brakes. Coming towards this chicane, he has fallen back just a bit. Ty Clear is actually chasing down Albertus as well, so we're on board with him as he's about to make the move. The kick Sauber looking for the move, but decided not to go for it, probably using it as a scare tactic. Put the driver under pressure, so he makes a mistake, but in doing so, he's fallen back and is currently out of the DRS.
Ooh. Oh. The KFC bloke wide through Parabolica, so but I think we might have French Civil War into turn 1 here in Monza. Inside Drizzle is holding the inside, shows his intentions.
Move on the inside. Oh yeah, that he makes a move. So they are 1.4 ahead of the guys ahead. Will they be working as a team, or will they be fighting each other? So far, it's looking like they're fighting each other, coming side by side as they enter towards the first chicane. As Drizzle gets ahead. I didn't actually see what tires they're on. Let's go on. They're both on hard, so they're both on the should be on the same pace.
I think this is some awesome racing here, reminiscent of Bahrain 2014 with the Mercedes scrapping away at each other, not regarding their strategies.
MQK and Brian Remo are real close to each other. They went side by side pretty much through the entire Lesmos. It's nice and clean racing from these two.
Really not what they need though. Really not what they need at the moment. These two are head scrapping. They're not.
They should. Yeah, I guess they should be really catching up to the back of the field. Is starting to see a few DRS trains starting to form here the midfield. But as long as Albertus can stay with Commander Bond, there will be a DRS train. As these two drivers up front, they're matching similar pace, so one of them might have to under the other.
I've been asking the Discord if you needed who you need to invite.
Ty Clear makes a move on Albertus. Now it's just about out of the DRS of Commander Bond. Commander Bond chasing down the Red Bull driver. If he can stay close enough coming towards these two, this chicane and the two Lesmos, he might be able to make a move coming down to the final chicane.
You know, I think there's a couple of fights only at the moment going on. Oh, maybe not, to be fair. There's a little bit of a trend going there at the back. Those two teammates at the front, though, are scrapping away. Bit of a gap forming now, though. I think Drizzle's learned his lesson, is holding off a little bit. Definitely got more ERS than his teammate. MQK is still dropping time to the drivers ahead. Here we go, change of lead, Drizzle to the inside. I think they're working together.
I think we're going to be seeing this a lot throughout this race as Brian also gets past MQK, but does MQK try and fight it, or does he know that they have to catch up as they are falling back quite a bit, which has also allowed Pipe to catch up right to the back of them as we have some more moves down the straight. Traktoris getting past El Bartos. There was a bit of contact there as he made the exit. I think the Aston Martin driver tried to take a move mid-corner. Let me just try and invite someone. As something's happened to the KFC bloke. He might have made a
Yeah.
mistake throughout the one corners. He's fallen back, still within the DRS, but I don't think it's going to be a big enough gap to try and make the overtake on the
Oh,
in straight.
Alberto gains the position on Shrek despite his damage.
These
Not a
two
bad
are fighting
overtake.
heavily, and it's caused them to fall back quite a bit from Ty Clear. As also, whatever happened to the KFC bloke has really put him on the back foot, as he no longer has DRS. However, Brian and MQK does, and they will be chasing them down as Brian sets the quickest lap of the race on lap 7. As I think there'll be another move. Default CV on the Williams. Can he make a double overtake here? It's looking like he's going to try and do it. Backs out just at the right moment. Knew he wasn't going to make the move and slots
I think he
into
had plenty of
P10.
space. I think he had plenty of space to make that move. At the front, though, things are getting a bit closer. I think MQ and Brian have both got back into the DRS of the leaders, so that lead is now cut.
As
See what happens now.
MQK is playing a dangerous game with his track limits as he touches the grass. Is he going to fall back out of the DRS? Let's see. He's probably burning a bunch of battery here just to stay within that 1 second range. So, that's really unfortunate for him.
Quite unfortunate indeed for him. Did have to burn quite a bit of battery. Now he's going to have to save on the next straight. Not many opportunities to gain, except for the first corner. So you use a lap, you're going to have to wait another lap to get it back.
So is Brian going to try and make himself into an Alpine baguette here as the KFC bloke goes off track? That is going to allow Brian to get right up behind him. The KFC bloke with the DRS and the slipstream, it's going to be about who has the quickest, the quicker ERS or more management in it, but it's looking like it's going to slot in behind for now as MQK slides through that first turn of the chicane and manages to make it stick. Ty Clear up into P10. He goes into the pits going for the hard compound tires. Will they go to the end? He might be onto a 2-stop here.
Yeah, I don't think the 2-stop's the worst option in the world. I just think that you need to have a partner to do it with, unless you can't lose DRS here. Another thing that I was going to say as well is that Brian is managing his DRS much more than the KFC bloke. He could have moved into turn 1, but he didn't because he had to stay in none for the whole straight.
Actually, speaking of that, I wonder if any other drivers are going to respond to the fact that Ty Clear pitted, because by the looks of how these guys are racing and how quick they are going to at least catch up to one another, I think Ty Clear could be on for an undercut in a few laps' time.
OTLR cruises there. Get your cruises in the Discord. Link in the chat. "19 people here with us today watching this race, round 5 of Division 2. I think there's only a few rounds to go. So the championship is looking ever more prevalent in our minds. Andres only scoring 2 points. He's the championship leader at the moment, so I don't think he will be after this race.
KFC bloke getting back ahead of Drizzle. They're still gaining time to Brian. Brian doing really well to manage his pace to try and catch up as these guys are just overtaking each other. Do you think this is the right call to fight this much with these two drivers behind? Because the McLaren are the ones they need to beat, really.
No, the one person they need to beat is their teammate most of all. But not only that, this is a league race, not a champion, not a a real life championship. So that team could mean nothing. Shut up, Corey.
Papaya rules with only one driver currently in that podium position.
Papaya rules.
So far, two
Oh,
retirements. One.
KFC's gone. KFC's gone. Dropped it to
Oh, as
Ascari
he's
in
going
the
to lose
grass.
so many positions as all the drivers come up behind him, and he is going to lose those positions. Pipe probably going to get past him on the DRS straight as he is 2.6 seconds behind. This is huge for Drizzle as he is now 1.5 ahead with no one tackling him behind. Clean air in front.
Yeah,
So
not
that is the
ideal.
downside of fighting your teammate that much. He was in the dirty air for so long. His tires probably just cooked, especially with all the mistakes he was making, touching the grass, going just a bit off track. This Pipe Tech finally gets past. No, he tries to make a move but doesn't. He'll be chasing down the KFC bloke who's doing well to hold position.
That's unfortunate. And we now have one Alpine out in front, no DRS to worry about to Brian. I think Brian will be our championship leader as it stands.
But speaking of that, he just gained almost. I don't know what happened there, but he just gained quite a few temps actually on Drizzle. But I think
Oh,
he just made a mistake into that second
yeah,
chicane.
definitely made a mistake there. What lap do you think people will come in for mediums? Say maybe.
I don't
Lap
really know about what lap. I just know
14,
that they
15.
can go quite a long while on them.
It's interesting. I think that the undercut isn't going to be too powerful here.
As actually the KFC making that mistake, and Drizzle now being 1.8, almost 2 seconds ahead of Brian. If he keeps a clean race, I think he could potentially just be on for the win.
Yeah, I agree with you there. To be honest, he's driven a good race so far. Hasn't really been threatened except by his teammate, who's effectively battered off. Tires are interesting at the moment, all but Pipe Tech and Andres on the hards.
Monobon
So
gets past Pipe Tech. So Pipe Tech would probably be looking to pit soon if he wants to try and make the undercut on those drivers ahead of him. At least Commander Bond, he could probably get an undercut on it. He would definitely have to have a good few laps when he goes onto those hard compound tires if he wants to try and undercut the likes of the KFC bloke, which I think he can. But we'll just see. I think he could pit in the next few laps, if I'm being honest.
yeah, I
So
think
Andre
I
is also
wouldn't be
pits,
surprised to
probably
see him
looking for
pit.
the undercut as well.
I think undercut lap pitting would have to be earliest, maybe 13 or 14.
As Brian has actually gained a hell of a time. It was almost 2 seconds behind, but is now 1.1. So did Drizzle make a mistake somewhere in his lap? As I think
I didn't see one.
Brian might have DRS if he can.
Yeah, he's definitely got the DRS.
I think he's gonna get it. He's edging that 1 second mark.
Oh
Does
no, I
he?
don't think he did.
Oh, that's unfortunate. It's gonna have to slot him behind, and I, th I think he might have upped his front wing a bit because he is losing time on the straight. Both drivers without DRS, so it's all down to the ERS management and how well they can save throughout. Pretty much, really, the only place you can really save is the chicane. So you have 3 opportunities to save your ERS.
Hmm.
As let's see, does any of the medium runners pit? Yes, who was I talking about? Pipe Tech pits as expected. We'll keep an eye on him later on to see if he can get that undercut. As who else actually pitted? No, I think it was Ty Clear. Ty Clear is already undercut Pipe Tech, so if he can go to the end on those tires, which I think is a long stretch, maybe I don't think he will. I think he might pit eventually later down the line, but knowing when is yeah.
Mm.
There's also, what do we think MQK and the KFC bloke have to do to get back into this race? I think the KFC bloke is a bit too far behind, but if MQK has been saving his tires, he can push and then maybe box in a lap or two to try and get the undercut on these two drivers
Yeah, I
who,
agree with you.
by the looks of it, are definitely going for a one stop.
Brian and Bremer out of battery here. He needs to be careful. And also, he's low on fuel. Apparently, I can see he's low on fuel.
He might have underfueled for this track, as I think you can do that if you have some bit of a dirty air, but we'll see what he can later down the line. It's definitely going to be tough for him if he does that. As Albertus is making a move on the Red Bull in the last corner, makes that move stick on the inside. I think AJ Lamp just got a bit like like I don't know that word. He got a bit scared there and just yeah, and made a mistake and just let him pass as the KFC bloke pits. We shall see where he comes back out, I think, later down the line. He goes on to the mediums. I think he might have pitted too early for the hards, if I'm being honest. I think he's going to have to stop again. I generally think he's going to have to do another stop there. As Brian now is right up the back of the gearbox of Drizzle.
Unsurprisingly, Corey called that the medium pin, runners would pit there. Unsurprisingly, because he's an intelligent racecrafter.
And Brian make the move on Drizzle. Let's see if he saved his battery as they both go into the pits. Oh my, okay. So we're going board with currently, who is it that pit? So we're going board with the KFC bloke and see how much he is pushing. So far, he did set a fastest sector 2. Is he going to get the undercut on these two drivers ahead? And if he does, that will be huge. However, I think he's going to have to pit again. The MQK takes the lead. Minor Bond goes into the pit. Ty Clear, I think, might be running seconds behind Werner here. Oh, third, sorry. Well, second after MQK pits. But we're going board with the KFC bloke. I don't think he's made it stick. I don't think he's close enough to make the move. No, he's too far back. And then he's going to slot into P6. That's unfortunate.
Close though.
I still think he can make the move on MQK, though, who is... I think he should have pitted alongside Drizzle and Brian, if I'm being completely honest. But
yeah, he's going to be suffering.
there's a Red Bull off the track coming to the first turn. I think that might have been some aggressive fighting there. There's 17 seconds. What do you think the pit stop the pit stop time is around here?
Probably like 22 or 3.
22. So the KFC bloke can definitely get the undercut on MQK. Drizzle is actually catching up to the back of Ty Clear. He is on much fresher tyres, but is under threat from Brian from the back.
I think MQK might actually be closer to Commander Bond here than he is KFC, because they've all had DRS. Let's not forget that. He's in the pit now. I think this is going to be quite unfortunate for MQK1.
Let's see. Yeah, it is. He's going to be quite a few seconds behind the KFC bloke. Could potentially come out ahead of Commander Bond, but it's going to be tight actually. We'll go on board with him and see what he does as he's leaving the pits now. It's going to be really close. If Commander Bond can get past him, this would be huge, and he's not going to. He's too far back. So he's fell back by 3 seconds there. So extending his stint by 1 lap is really it's really threw him off here.
Yeah. So race situation as it stands then, Winner and Ty Clear both pitting earlier for the undercut have jumped, I believe. The 3 drivers, P3, 4 and 5 here, who were top 3 spread out and have now been thrown back into the mixer together. So they've got to navigate this pack together or as individuals. Let's see how it affects the order.
As Ty Clear is on the hards, I think he can go to the end here. I'm not expecting him to win, as you know, Drizzle's right there with fresher tyres and in a DRS, but we'll see. It's mixed here. I don't know if he's on the 2-stop or the 1-stop. The hards, they can go for long here as the KFC bloke tries to make a move from Brian, but just doesn't. We see that is Scary. Is that the name of the final chicane?
That's a Scary, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the weak part of, for his laps, and he just fell back just quite a bit. But speaking of people that are not falling back, Drizzle and Ty Clear, who could both gain positions here. Drizzle probably most likely to make a move as he is right up the gearbox. Is he going to try and make a move on the inside? Can he get a double overtake here? I think no, he can't. Can he at least get past Ty Clear? Side by side through the chicane. Who's got the better traction? It's probably Drizzle as he is on the fresher tyres and he slots into P2.
That's a good overtake there, nice and clean. Bit of a shaky exit, but Brian Umbremo, the opportunist, takes the inside line into Variante della Roggia. I believe he has made that stick. It's a good move from him.
Yeah, he is P3 and he's up past Ty Clear. Ty Clear now under threat from the KFC block. So maybe Ty Clear is definitely on the 2-stop. He might fall back, but he will gain those positions back with these Ascari and Parabolica. Okay, thanks for that. So they're coming to Ascari now. Can Drizzle try and make the move on his on the Red Bull? Real close. Top three separated by less than 3 attempts.
Top 5 are separated by less than, I think, a second in a little bit. Brian and Brummer could be the opportunist here. He could take the lead of the race. Should Drizzle not navigate this Red Bull efficiently, sees the inside line, doesn't quite take it, but he's now seen it. He's low on battery though. Winner into the pits. Drizzle vulnerable.
I just want to mention Ty Clear and the KFC almost had a moment. They had some really strong racing coming towards Parabolica. The KFC bloke trying to make a move around the outside. For this turn, it goes onto the inside, locks up, hits the curb, and closes the door on Ty Clear a bit, but stays ahead for now.
I think we might see Brian and Brummer fall back a little bit into the grasp of the second Alpine because he's low on battery and he's low on fuel compared to Drizzle, who is on neither of those.
Is he going to make a move? The wheel to wheel through the chicane. He has the inside line. They collide. That allows Ty Clear to go back up to P3.
Ty Clear, absolute madman at the moment. Opportunist again. Takes the position from KFC, who makes contact with Brian and Brummer. I think there's a racing incident there. Not much could be done. It's a move that was definitely on. I don't think Brian did too much wrong, gave as much room as he could. I think KFC could have gone a bit tighter to his outside of the car. Takes the position back from Ty Clear in the following DRS zone, but he's had to spend some battery doing so.
So this has really helped out Drizzle, who is currently almost 1.1 seconds ahead of Brian and out of the DRS, and the KFC bloke being out of the DRS from Brian as well. So these guys are fighting heavily.
Ty Clear's on a mad one at the moment. He's keeping KFC bloke in his pocket. Ty Clear would be a deserved podium sitter at the moment as it stands. MQK1 has been dragged back into this fight low. I didn't even notice that. He's going for the move on KFC bloke. Oh, bit of contact. Might be a bit of damage to the front left end plate of MQK1. Can he dispatch of Ty Clear more efficiently than KFC has?
No damage here, but the KFC bloke tries to make a move on the inside, but just slots in behind now as we have a 10-second penalty for Shrek Taurus, who comes into the pits. So far, this top 5 are in for a fight, doing well so far to at least maintain their positions. Obviously, the top 2 have flown ahead. Brian doing well to just get back that momentum he lost from the moment of the KFC bloke, who is starting to struggle around this track, and it is obvious, dropping down to P5 and out of the DRS from MQK. I think the 2 drivers that have definitely surprised me this race is Brian and MQK. Obviously, they are racing which was Division 1 drivers, so you definitely get to see what his pace is like as Ty Clear is now. No, he's just racing his own races. They almost collide there. MQK getting past. Nice move from him. He is going to be on the back foot though. I think maybe he was a bit impatient here, which, as if you was watching last week, is what Ricky said. The 2 divisions, it shows your skill level, and I think that might come into play here. Making that early overtake is really put on the back foot as the KFC bloke spins. He's in the wall. I think he's going to go into the pits. No, he doesn't. He keeps going as Ty Clear gets ahead of MQK as expected. I think MQK is getting a bit impatient. He should have waited for the main straight. But the KFC bloke touched the grass as he just lost it into. I think he have damage.
Wouldn't be surprised. I did see that on the stream there, so that'd be interesting for the stewards to look at after the race. I think Brian and Bremo is just sitting behind Drizzle here, trying to get that fuel margin a bit safer, and at the same time get some battery, line up a move for the lead.
That would be the smart thing to do. They are on the same tyre strategy, so he can save as much as he wants. As long as he stays within that DRS, he can try and make a move in the final few laps. As the fight between MQK and Ty Clear are on one. These guys are fighting hard. Obviously, when it comes to like the race intelligence, we obviously Ty Clear, I think, has the upper hand. As MQK, yeah, I think he might be playing it smart this time round, but he needs to manage what he's doing, because overtaking in this part of the section of the lap is not good. As now he's probably going to overtake Ty Clear as he has the DRS, so maybe he learned from his mistake as Ty Clear comes into the pits. We'll see where he comes out. 7 laps to go. I don't know if the 2-stop was the right call at this point of the Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it was the right call, but he's rolled the dice. Sometimes you just got to roll them.
he is going to drop back. He should. Yeah, no. But with those fresher tires and what is pretty much 6 racing laps left for Ty Clear, he can definitely try and get back into the points. It's unlucky. The management of the time management around this track is really difficult. You never know what strategy you really want to go to, but Corey says the
And the
medium
most
hards is
points
the
you can
one
get
to.
is 4. Yeah,
As
hard to medium, definitely. It.
Brian making a move on the outside, makes a move actually. I didn't even see that. It looked really smooth. But again, like we said, making a move on this part of the track, I don't think is the right idea because now Drizzle's just going to get past. And I think that's where the difference between obviously these two drivers come in is as MQK and also Brian did the same thing, making a move just before Parabolica is really going to put him on the back foot here as he goes
Oh
into the pits. Uh, has he got major damage or something?
no, he's 2
That
stopping.
two what? Okay, wait, what?
Got
He's
KFC bloke and Commander Bond in the pits as well.
he's two stopping and Drizzle was on the hard or mediums. He started on the hard, so surely he's on the mediums. I th I'm
Things
so
got
confused.
interesting.
Yeah. So could it be as the KFC bloke also comes into the pit? So yeah. Uh. Okay. I want to see what Drizzle does. I think Drizzle will stay out as I personally know him and he always tries to go for the one stop option, but this has
I mean,
really
I
allowed
think that
Ty
would
Clear to
still
come
be the
back
right
into
option.
this.
I think it'd still. I don't think. I don't think the McLaren of Brian and Bromo can get better than P4 or 3 here.
It's gonna be
There's just not enough time in the race.
yeah. Even if he catches up to the back of the Red Bull, it's going to be difficult as he's still losing time. Obviously, he's cold tires on outlap, but oh, I don't know. This has really changed some things within the pecking
Mm.
order. It's,
Uh, the only thing that, I mean, to be fair, the only thing he's got in his favour is that the people ahead of him don't really have DRS.
yeah, I guess so as well. But also, the people that pitted as well, they don't really have DRS. They're going to have to slingshot each other if they want to even catch up to the likes of MQK, Pipe Tech, or Drizzle.
Yeah, and the gap between Brian and Ty Clear is 3 seconds, so it isn't not very likely.
As the gap to the leader from the KFC bloke is 29 seconds. So even if Drizzle was to pit, he would still come out ahead of the people he was fighting.
If 30 seconds in less than 10 laps is more than 3 seconds a lap.
I think he just threw his race. Obviously, we can't count anything out. Anything could happen. But I think he might have just ruined his chance at what could have been a race win. Obviously, he did,
And
from what we
championship
saw,
lead.
and he probably underfueled as well. So,
Yeah. Strange. He's not even really gaining that much on the winner.
still within that two-second
No, he
mark.
won't get a podium, Ricky. I don't think he will. To get a podium, we need to beat Pipe Tech. Pipe Tech's 6 seconds up the road. He needs to gain what?
Yeah, so
Over
so
10
Drizzle's
hour.
definitely going for the one stop. He's not coming into the pits. MQK did pit a bit later. I expect him to catch up. How much by? I'm not sure. He has took out half a second on that lap alone.
Brian's turning off the field again. It's like he's literally on the margin. I can see it turning on and off the light.
Right?
The light for his fuel meter.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, um, I think I think Drizzle kind of has this in the bag as the two Aston Martins are fighting. Do they work together and try and catch up to MQK, or do they just fight for position as it is a podium on the line? Yeah, as that is a good point. MQK is going to have to find a second per lap if you want catch up.
Yeah, it's a tall order.
But at first we thought MQK wasn't really on the right strategy, but from what everyone else has done, I think it was probably the perfect strategy. To be honest, he's going to come out with P2 here, especially
Great
considering he got
thinking.
undercut by the whole fields. Or not the
Definitely
whole
don't
field,
know
but
why people have two stopped there.
does Brian at least try and gain a position on the Red Bull? He's on much fresher tires, so it is pretty much expected soon. Don't think it will be this lap unless he's brave into turn one, but yeah, right call from Brian here. It's really unfortunate. What could have been a probably a guaranteed P2 is now turned into what is most likely P5 or P6.
That's what poor strategy can do to you, though.
Or people pit. We've got Andreas pitting, Greg pitting, so people probably timing their first pit stops really wrong is probably what's just Brian within 4 attempts now of coming towards the DRS straight. If I was him, I would wait. I probably wouldn't. Yeah, he's got to be really patient here, but he's on much fresher tires, so we should definitely see he has the more pace than the Red Bull ahead of big fresher tires. But is he going to play the patient game? Going to make the move, playing the patient game. I think Brian for P5. Right? Speaking of gaining though, MQK is gaining quite a lot on Grizzle, but not enough.
Nowhere near enough. Brian and Bowen P5, that's 12 points. No, sorry, that's 10 points now.
Red Bull tries to defend as much as he can, however, worse off tires. So far, the only man with DRS activated right now is the Red Bull driver of winner.
Yeah, I think the Astons are going to get some good points today.
So far, only 2 retirements, one due to connection issues, and the other due to wing damage, I believe. So far, been a good race all around. We've had some strong racing, but I think this is what the grid is going to be. Brian falling back, gaining actually.
Yeah, he'll be gaining, but I don't
Well,
know
he's
if it'll
got
be
2
on
laps
enough.
left, and he needs to gain 2.3 seconds on these Aston Martins if he wants to at least try and get a podium. It's
Yeah, he might
doable,
get
but within the
4.
next few laps,
Yep, DRS activated then for Brian Bremo on the back
I
of
still think
Alberto.
he's too far back to even. But
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
it's definitely P4 for him then. He's going to make a move on the DRS straight. Does he make a move now? I think the Aston Martin just decided not to fight that. That is going to put his teammate on the back foot. I think the Aston Martin.
No, no. I think the opposite. I think that Brian won't have the DRS for as long and that he won't be able to build that gap for the one lap.
True, but being on the much fresher tyres, he's going to find all that pace coming out of the corners. We should
Not
see. Look,
2.2 seconds.
let's just look at the. Yeah, you can see the grip difference between the Aston and the McLaren. He's already 1 second ahead, but I think you might be right here. He needs to gain. He needs to have a tremendous last lap. If he wants to gain any more positions. Speaking of
Yep,
that,
good
he
thing.
just took out 3 attempts of Aston Martin. I
I
kind
think
of think
this
that
has
Brian.
been
Do
pretty eventful.
you think Brian's also running maybe had higher down wings as well? Because
It would explain the loss in fuel.
yeah, and he does lose sometimes in the straights that don't have DRS, like to the car ahead. Sorry. Yeah, it's looking like it's gonna be for Brian. MQK, can he gain 2.5 in the in the last lap. It's doable depending on how Drizzle handles the next few corners, but
I don't think
1.6
that Brian and
Brian.
Bremer has it in him.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He is gaining though. If he can get within the DRS in these next few corners, maybe, but it's not looking likely. If he has battery, he needs to use all of it now. Yeah, no, that's unfortunate. The only chance he has now is having that extra grip. 1.2 behind. Yeah, no, that is... Oh, Brian gets a penalty. That puts Red Bull back up to P4. Obviously pushing way harder than...
P6 for Brian then, so that's only 8 points.
AFC Bloke gets a 3-second penalty. That is a very strong race from Drizzle. Winning the race from pole, as I think someone might have got a puncture. Who is that actually? Someone get a puncture? It's a Red Bull, I think. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Ty Clear up to P6. That is our grid. It's Drizzle winning the race. MQK, who was on the alternative stop, was on the back foot after his first stop, but managed to bounce back to P2 as people made a questionable strategy towards the end of this race. The Red Bull in P4, Brian P5, who is the one that made that questionable strategy. I think Ty Clear, I think that's probably the best he could have done with the strategy he's on. He pitted kind of early. He pitted lap 7, but still to be P6 is a good chunk of points for him. But
I have to
yeah,
agree, yeah. I have to agree with Ty Clear. Did a good race today.
kept it clean. Probably could have gained a few more positions, but I think there was just some aggressive fighting when didn't really need to be aggressive, especially at the start of the race. But that's a good performance from him. MQK actually is probably most impressive performance I've seen. P2 is a great result for him. As where would he be in the standings? Will he overtake Andreas? I don't know. He won't, but he will jump up to I think P3 or 4 standings. Obviously, we'll find out later on when the stewards and Ricky get all the stuff together and we get the results later on. But that was the end of the race. It did fall back, but I think that was just due to the strategies we had. Some drivers had, but yeah.
Can I say as well, I didn't see any dirty driving at all, really. That was a really
Yeah,
good race.
it's just aggressive
When there was
driving.
racing.
Obviously some moments where why would you make a move there? But you know it's racing up, try and get for that
Yeah,
gap when they.
yeah. Right, I've got to run downstairs for 2 seconds, I'll be back.
There we go. Right, so that is race over. Back to back at Monza. Actually, a lot of insight in what I should. Uh, that was a great race. Just
Right here. Right now. Right here. Yeah, that was brilliant. Well, that was a good. Thank you for that, boys. That was a really good race. Thank you for the welcome back as well. Thank you, Corey, for jumping in. Ricky's
Stephen.
grammar check you.
get some underway. You got any questions that you wanna? Yeah,
Myself?
about to get some.
Oh, yeah, I'll be happy to ask a question.
Hello there,
Oh,
our race
what a
winner.
victory!
Let's just get the rest of the podium
Okay.
in. Yep, there we go. So this is our top two. I don't think Pipe Tech is coming today, but it's been a good race. So speaking of the race, obviously pole and the victory, Drizzle. How are you
I
feeling
didn't
after
get
that
pole.
race?
I didn't get pole.
Oh wait, no, you didn't. You didn't get pole. Your teammate did, but
My
P2 to
teammate got
P1.
pole. Yes, it
How
was.
was how was the
It
race for
was a
you?
difficult race. I spent the best part of it time managing. I went for
Yeah.
the one stop and I wanted to push the hards to lap 17, but I ended up getting into puncture territory around lap 14. So I ended up doing 14 laps on hards and another like 14 laps on mediums. The medium, I think I finished with 95% wear on my mediums.
As we actually
But
saw,
I spent, yeah, it was crazy.
another thing we saw is you and your teammate towards the start of the lap. So me and Tom were thinking, oh, are they working together or are they fighting?
No,
Because we
no, no,
saw.
we were fighting the whole
Oh,
time.
okay, so yeah, I was gonna say because even with that fighting, you guys were gaining quite a few.
Oh, Pipe Tech wants to join the interviews.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how. Yes, I don't
I
ask
know,
him.
I know this is kind of unfortunate, but I do have to run downstairs to the toilet right
That's
now.
that's okay.
Yeah, I'm still listening. I'm still listening. I've got headphones on that are wireless. So.
So yeah,
I cannot.
that's a pretty good race from you, and obviously MQK getting a
Yeah, we kept it
P2.
clean.
If I was being honest, for when you pitted, I wasn't really expecting you to get P2, but obviously you stick to your strategy and it allowed you to get to P2 since other people surprisingly went for the two stop, which allowed you to bounce back into the race.
Yeah,
How was
yeah,
it for you?
the same as Drizzle. I just spent most of the race time managing.
And so with your original strategy, what was it like? As you had to you pitted quite late, which allowed some of the drivers that were ahead of behind you to undercut you. So what was you thinking when that was going through? Was you like, oh,
No, no, I was just hoping they were gonna do the two stop, and yeah, that's what ended up happening.
I think you won the jackpot there. It's a pretty good race. I think considering like the changes that have happened with some drivers coming in that when I think your even though Drizzle won and then obviously his teammate got pole, I think out of everyone to be impressed today, it's you and Brian. Obviously Brian being on the back foot due to
Yeah.
making that second pit stop, but
I do agree with that. At the
you won
end,
your
I was
race and you
hemorrhaging time.
yeah. I will say on lap 27 or 26, he was 4.8 ahead of you, and you managed to gain you it was like 1.5 behind him towards the end. So you did really well in that race. I'm definitely excited to see what you can do in Brazil next week. I don't know how strong of a track it is. But,
Yeah, I'd probably say Monza's probably one of my weakest tracks as well.
so that's even better. Where that puts you in the standings, I will have to have a look. 18. That would. You're currently sitting on 31. But you, I think P3. So you have jumped up there, and if you've actually gained quite a few points, so you could be in contention for taking over the driver's title soon. Obviously, you have to plan that goal. But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's going to be
I'm
very
coming in
close.
mid-season. I've got a bit of a fight to put up.
Don't
Gonna
forget,
have
you
to.
already have 19 points.
Oh, did it carry over? Oh, did I reserve?
Silverstone, remember? Yeah. So you already
Oh,
have
I
19
reserved for
points, but
Silverstone.
yeah.
Oh.
But MQK is currently ahead of you in the standing, so he has the upper foot on upper like on you. But it's yeah, it's a good race. Obviously, we'll see you
Looking forward
guys
to it.
next time out.
And if you want to see the winner's POV, check Drizzle JK on YouTube.
Oh
All
whoa,
races live
okay,
streamed.
none of that. Jeez, pull it in self promo, not in the OTR chat.
Hey,
But
I think the winner gets a pass.
I think uh
All right.
shoes.
I
But
think you should give him a 5 second penalty for that.
yeah, that is a 10.
To be fair, I gave up quite a lot of time on
Right.
the last lap just
But
to be
I
extra
will
safe.
end the stream
Same, I
here
thought
as
I
I
was gonna
think
get puncture.
Hype Tech is
Because
trying
I
to
saw you catching me now and then,
figure it out.
like, with
But
like a second,
that was a
and I was
good
like,
race
his
from
heart.
him. That was a good race from him towards the end of the race. He managed to keep it well, getting no penalties, keeping a clean race. Also a good race. But yeah, qualifying. I mean, if you take away obviously those front two, it was pretty close. I had a great time watching, and we will be back for next week, which is Brazil. I would also like to just apologize to the viewers watching. I am also commentating and doing the tier coordination, so throughout the beginning of the stream, you will see a lot of pausing, a lot of inviting. I will try and get as much action as I can, but there's only so much I can do. There will be some changes next week to try and make it easier. But yeah, that's it for now. I hope everyone enjoyed this race, and we're going to be ending. Now I have to before fires.